I want to do one more shot.
Let's do it.
All right. Because we're about to get into it, folks. Impeachment.
Whew.
I wasn't going to talk about impeachment, but you're like, an impeachment? And you seemed really excited about that.
I mean, just because that's what's going on right now, right?
That's what's going on.
I mean...
But is it going on? That's my... But is it going on? Okay. What is impeachment going to accomplish? I think nothing. I think the more you do to this president, the stronger he gets.
Awesome.
What do you... Oh, you don't want that much?
No, I just thought we'd make it even.
Do you have more than me?
I think so.
I think we're about the same.
Okay.
Oh, but you're already buzzed, huh? You've been drinking. Go ahead if you want. Hold up what you've been drinking.
This whole bottle, it's almost done. All right.
Wild turkey. Wild turkey?
Wild turkey and Diet Coke.
Wild turkey is the worst.
It's not that bad.
It's wild turkey and Southern Comfort. Those are two things that I had an early childhood drinking trauma.
I don't like sweet drinks. They tend to give me really bad hangovers.
I feel like that is sweet.
Wild turkey?
Yeah.
Nah.
I feel like it's unnecessarily sugary.
There's no extra added
Let's make
sugar.
this about wild turkey.
Yeah. Fuck the
There's
impeachment.
no extra added sugar. I don't know. I never read the contents.
Nah, it's just bourbon.
Let's have a drunken political discussion.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers. And I'm just chasing it with water, folks. No pussy shit, okay? Except for this face. This face is some pussy shit. This tells you I didn't have a completely good time just now.
I'm terrible at taking shots. The way I usually do it, this has whiskey in it, but I'll take some drink, take a sip before, keep it in my mouth, take the shot with that. So it's like a continuous flow. Take a sip, shot, sip.
That's how I used to do it.
Whew.
But then I started going to a bar that when you ask for a shot, they serve you a glass of whiskey.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, okay. I guess I'm just drinking a glass of whiskey now.
Time to man up.
You know what happened was I asked for whiskey with no ice, and she just started pouring into a highball glass. And I'm like, and she just waited. This is something I used to do when I was a kid. I would drink in the middle of a room some whiskey or vodka or something, and I wouldn't stop until I heard someone say, "Oh my God."
That's your cue?
That was like, that's all I wanted. Thank you.
Yeah.
But you know, your metabolism's so high, and I was an athlete, so I wouldn't really get hangovers or anything like that.
Right.
But she did that. She was pouring, and I'm like, "Oh God, stop!" She's like,
It's different now, man. The older you get, my hangovers are they last days now.
Drink water, yeah.
I do.
You drink water with your alcohol?
Yeah.
I don't see any water with you right now.
Well, not right now.
We got water in the fridge for you. I
Okay.
got you. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you. How do you? Okay, I don't really want to talk about impeachment too much, but
Okay.
we got to start somewhere, and it is what's going on right now. So,
Okay.
How do you feel about what's going on? First of all, are you still a Trump supporter?
I think
You're an agnostic Trump supporter.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I don't think he's as bad as people think,
Okay.
but I also don't think he's the best. You know, we could have something better, but I also don't think he's as bad as people make him out to be.
That's what I hear Republicans say. They're like, we could do better. He's not the best guy for the job, but he's better than better than the alternative.
But that also goes for every politician. Like, no one's the best for the job, right?
I put something online, and just because, election year started, and it's already... You know what? I haven't been on Facebook in like a year, and there's a reason. And I only go there because I need to push and advertise my shit, and then I get distracted. I get stuck, like, scrolling, and I'm just like, oh, there's all this stupidity. And, my peeps are not excluded from that. They're like arguing about which Democratic candidate is worse or better or more corrupt, and so I just put something up there like did you see it right? Comparing corruption between politicians is like comparing stank on assholes.
Yeah.
You don't become a politician by having clean hands.
Sure.
You become a politician by being a fucking psychopath. So in college, you if you work for the paper and you tried to choose a certain beat, which I did. I used to sit in on student senate meetings, and I saw these people are the pre-psychopaths. Their only social skills are sociopathic. They smile because they feel like they should.
Yep.
This is at the student level, and I saw at an early stage them being manipulated by the people who were at the finished product of what they aspired to be.
Sure.
On both sides, I saw it. I saw it happening, and there was nothing I could say or do. I just saw the fucking sausage being made. And it was so disheartening because I'm like, oh, this is a perpetual motion machine.
Yeah.
So having said that, for people to argue which corruption. Oh God, I'm buzzed.
Yeah, me too.
I'm buzzed. Well, you're even more so than me.
Yeah,
But you also have a little more body weight. Not talking shit.
He's talking
I'm
shit.
talking shit.
This is gonna go
is that
from
what I look like?
talking
Oh my
impeachment
God.
to a fight.
Rachel just held up a picture of what I look like. Oh, I look so buzzed right now because I already look buzzed naturally.
Yeah.
You're used to me, maybe that's what. I already look buzzed in my natural state of being, so now that I am buzzed and sleepy still, I need a nap sometime today, which is going to be even harder with the alcohol in my system. Thank you, baby. I appreciate it. You're just...
It's a motivator.
No, because I'm going to have to edit this shit, and I'm staring at my own face, and I'm like, oh, I hate that. Oh, I fucking hate that. Oh, I fucking hate that. How does anyone ever have sex with me? That's what I wonder. How does this dick operate? Okay. When you're arguing variations of corruption in politicians, all you're arguing is who's better at sweeping it up, you know?
Yeah.
And so Trump chooses not to sweep it up. And I had this discussion with a liberal friend of mine.
Okay.
And it started with, it sucks because every discussion you have now goes back to politics. And as a bartender, I run a gauntlet of avoiding the discussion of politics because I realize that every single discussion gravitates naturally toward politics because we're just so, I wouldn't even say politically aware, but we're politically...
Like bombarded.
Bombarded,
really.
Thank you, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't get away from it, and so she's talking about why women like douchebags, and she's like, well, when you're dealing with an asshole, you know he's an asshole. And then right away she said, that's why we have Donald Trump. And I told her, I'm like, I was actively trying not to say that.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a funny way to look at it. And it's
Yeah.
kind of true because I've talked to some people too. I've actually talked to people who we've discussed Donald Trump and they would rather him do the things behind closed doors like all the politicians do than to like do it in public, right? They're like, yeah, I get it, but I'd just rather him do it behind closed doors like the rest.
Well, there's something to be said for doing it behind closed doors. Okay, so I want to go back to something we're detached from. Clinton versus George W. Bush.
Okay.
So there was nothing not corrupt about Bill Clinton, but the economic state of the country was better, and part of that is because of the public sentiment. People felt comfortable. Right now, people are afraid. The market is all over the place. At any day, any point in time, you could say that the market is thriving or the market is dying, and you would be right, saying either thing.
Hasn't it been stronger than it's been in a while?
No. It's been at a steady upward, but we have these daily like dips in like the double and triple digits, you know, and then they come back up. It's just volatile, if nothing else. I only know because my girlfriend is a finance major, and so she keeps tabs on the market, and sometimes she'll just like check on what is it, Robinhood?
That's one app.
But she'll just turn around and laugh. She's like, "Look at this. This is
Yeah.
fucking ridiculous. This is like you can't make hide or hair of this shit, you know?"
Is it higher or lower than it has been?
The stock market?
Yeah.
Well, it's running really high, which isn't necessarily a good thing because that means the correction's going to be gnarly. And they also don't know why it's running high because, like, there's all these things that should affect the stock market. Like, oh, we almost just got into World War III. The stock market didn't respond at all.
So what would be your explanation for that as a finance major?
Well, I mean, I don't really want to be too much a part of this discussion.
Well, from what she's told me,
Sure.
economics is largely for the philosophical, and so they can only guess at why things happen, and that's why world-renowned economists are often wrong. But like the unemployment levels are kind of a steady progression of what we saw before Trump was in office. So you can kind of estimate that like him not having an influence, the exact same thing would have happened. But I don't worry about that.
Okay.
I don't worry about the influence of Trump because the way he talks, I can't fucking listen to him. So I'd rather not. And so when people talk about the thing that he said, I'm like, yeah, well, anytime he talks, it's going to be some weird, crazy shit because as a comic, I understand what he's doing. Every time he's out at a rally, he's workshopping. And it's funny because actually Bill Maher said something about this last night, but I've been saying it this for a while, ever since I've become a comic. and people think, oh, I'm meaning it as an insult. I'm like, no. If you see him up there, he's riffing, and he'll even point to things like drain the swamp. You know, he said, drain the swamp. I didn't even mean anything when I said it, but it caught on, and now people are all the time saying drain the swamp. You know, I'm like, he's just workshopping shit, and if it works, he keeps on saying it.
Yeah.
You know, and he's when I was a kid, I already figured out the president is the best salesman, and he's a good salesman in that he's unapologetic, he's never wrong, and there's never anything to negate anything that he says. So all that is detached from reality, right?
I suppose so.
No one is never wrong. There's everything to negate anything anyone says. What I dislike is how much everyone. I feel like we would all be better off if for 1 week people could stop talking about him. And I don't think impeachment is going to help anything. I already know that Bill Clinton was impeached for less, for like a minuscule version of what Trump has done. I also know that they're not. The reason why they won't bring witnesses, that's what's happening right now. They won't bring witnesses into the impeachment, right?
Who? The Republicans?
Mitch McConnell has refused to allow witnesses into the impeachment. Do you know that?
I don't know for sure.
Yeah, because you, like me, are you trying to stay ignorant of it?
No, I mean, I keep up with the impeachment. Here's what I think, right?
Wait, I want to finish my thought. Because he is a compulsive liar. He is. And so he will immediately, upon taking the witness stand, perjure himself. That's something he can't control. That's like a physical, that's just his being. He is not a person, he's not a human without being a scumbag salesman. A real estate broker, you know, just someone who tells you the best version of what's going on, even if he has to make it up as he goes along.
So what I think of the whole impeachment is that from the get-go that Donald Trump was elected in 2016, from the start of his election, the Democrats have been trying to impeach him, right? They've been trying to get him off his throne, right? With this whole Russia investigation. They investigated him for how many years? 2 years, right?
Yeah.
And they called like 500 witnesses, had a bunch of subpoenas, they pulled phone calls, they pulled text records, everything.
Yeah.
And he did nothing, I mean, that could convict him of a crime. Right? They found nothing. After 2 years of investigation, they found nothing.
Yeah.
It was just a whole load of shit. Right? That's what it's been. From the get-go, they've been doing this. Pew Research has actually done a study of like the media coverage of Donald Trump versus previous presidents, and in the 90s have been negative of Donald Trump's media coverage has been negative. What I see is that the powers that be are trying to take this man down in whatever way that they can, whether it be the media or whether it be through investigation, accusing him of collusion, anything. Let me ask you something. What's the higher crime, right? Because people say, oh, he obstructed justice, right, in this whole Russia collusion. Yeah. He tried to stop,
which
perhaps,
he did, by the way,
an investigation into him in Russia, right, which he knows was bogus. Let's assume that the conclusion was correct and that he did not collude with Russia. I want to say
every single high-ranking member of his campaign team was known to have close contacts with Russia throughout the campaign.
Yeah,
including Eric Trump.
Right, nothing's proven, right? I mean, like, after 2 years of investigation, Bob Mueller found nothing. Out of all the phone records, out of every text message, out of every communication with Russia, they found nothing that would prove that he colluded with Russia to try to cheat the election, correct?
He himself, but members of his cabinet are now serving prison time for their part in collusion with Russia.
No, they're not serving prison for collusion with Russia. It's different crimes.
Yeah.
It's separate from collusion with Russia.
What are those crimes?
Like his lawyer, like Cohen, and things like that. I don't know the exact crimes, but it's not collusion with Russia. That's not what
You don't know what it is, but you know what it isn't.
Right. That's correct. It is. Because if they had the evidence that his team colluded with Russia, then he would be impeached more easily.
If you don't know what it is, then how do you know what it isn't?
I know because what it isn't, if they had the evidence to suggest that Donald Trump and his team colluded with Russia to steal the election, then we would have more of a case for impeachment. And we don't have that. After 2 years of investigation, we have nothing. We have no evidence that he colluded with Russia or his team colluded with Russia to win the election, right? He won.
You don't think it's strange for his cabinet, his campaign? God, what's the word I keep on searching for? His campaign team. You don't think it's weird for a campaign to be talking to a foreign power regularly, on a regular basis?
So who talked to him?
All of them.
Like who? And what did they say?
Roger Stone, Michael Cohen, Eric Trump
And
was invited for a private conference with some high-ranking Russian officials.
So what does that prove?
That doesn't seem strange in any way to you?
It doesn't prove anything.
Okay.
It may be strange, but I mean, so what's...
So
here's the thing with the impeachment.
Without having a transcript of a conversation, is what you're saying. There's no proving anything.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you don't have proof, if you're accusing of the president of colluding with a foreign government to steal the election, you have to have proof. And if you can't provide the proof, then you don't have the proof.
And that's why, because there's no transcript of a conversation, that's why they didn't go ahead with impeachment. That's why they didn't prosecute.
Well, we do have a transcript of a conversation now with the impeachment, right?
Yeah.
And what do you think about that? Do you think he should be impeached? Do you think it's an impeachable offense of what they're suggesting that he did?
It is an impeachable offense.
Okay. So
100%.
Okay.
But I feel so many different ways about what that means.
Okay.
It's like I said, they're all corrupt. They all do terrible shit. And I worry more about us. I'm not worried about Donald Trump. I'm not worried about Mitch McConnell. I'm worried about us. I'm worried about the fact that you can't find a single bedroom apartment for less than $1,400.
Mm-hmm.
And that's true anywhere where there's a city. Anywhere where there's a place where you want to be, it's going to be very expensive. Because when we talk about corruption in politics, for some reason, we leave out the source of that corruption, and that is money. And where's that money coming from? That money's coming from people who don't give a shit about us. Talking to the people I talk to regularly, I get a better understanding of laws that I would never even think about, like insurance laws that vary from district to district, and labor laws that vary from district to district. And there are these loopholes that giant conglomerate companies have legal teams to navigate, that you basically have to be, you basically have to go to law school in high school to understand where you are and aren't in danger of being screwed over. We're set out into the world basically being babysat for 12 years. Mm-hmm. And then we go and you're told, well, do this to succeed, do this to succeed, do this to succeed, and everyone who's telling you that is not successful. So I worry about what's in our backyard. I worry about us managing things. And I do believe the impeachment is a distraction. And that's why people in the entertainment industry are paid so much, because entertainment is a distraction. As soon as you take away someone's comfort, you're going to feel a blowback really fast. But if you take away someone's health, you won't even know it until they're too weak to fight. Mm. And so that's why I don't worry about impeachment. That's why I refuse to hear anything about it. People started talking about Iran. It was like close to New Year's. And it was fucked up because I didn't know I was sitting underneath a monitor, right? And someone started talking about Iran, and I said, stop. I'm selectively ignorant of that. If World War III breaks out, I'll fucking know about it. But in the meantime, I don't want to hear about what you don't know. Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't want to hear your expert opinion about what you fucking heard on CNN or whatever the fuck. Okay, you don't know, and I don't know, and nobody knows, and we don't understand what actually is going on. There's some flexing going on between people, and the more attention we pay, the worse it'll get. The worst thing we can do is pretend to be participating in this thing. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, what? They got all awkward. They're like, well, I don't know what else to talk about. I mean, how you doing, I guess. I mean, it's going on above you. I tell you what, yeah. The Iran thing was going on the screen above me. The very next thing on that screen was dog shot by man in Anaheim. Mm-hmm. Those things deserved equal screen time. Because they're both equally unimportant to my life.
To your life, sure.
Yeah. So I'm worried about the cost of living. You know, I'm worried about what affects that. Why does gas cost so much? Why are people allowed to charge whatever the fuck they want for things that we absolutely need? You know? And politicians like to treat smartphones like they're a commodity. They're not. your work expects you to have a smartphone. You're expected to be able to respond in real time to anything that happens, to any request that they might have. And if you don't, then you're the fucking asshole, you know? Or there's something wrong with you because you don't have a smartphone.
Well, I think what's important to our freedom is, I think the impeachment is very important to our future.
I think the impeachment is only empowering to him, by the way.
I mean, he's going to win in 2020.
He's going to win in 2020.
But here's what we know. Here are the facts, right?
And you know,
here's the thing.
I feel like until the country understands to mind what's going on in their backyard, they deserve Donald Trump.
Okay.
And I don't mean that in a good way.
Yeah. So since Donald Trump took office, we have the media and career politicians trying to take him down, right? Now, I'm of the belief that there are powers behind the scenes that aren't just what the politicians say, but there's big money controlling the politicians and everything that goes on behind the scenes, right? There's things that go on. Now, when he took office, I saw every single media outlet, even Fox News when he first started, trying to take this man down.
Yeah.
Right? Every career politician trying to take this man down. Now, I don't think the media has our best interest in mind.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. So seeing them trying to take him down in such a blatant and obvious way was very telling to me. It was like, okay, so why do they want to take this guy down, right? Because he can't be controlled.
But you say Fox News is trying to take him down.
Well, he was. He's not anymore. They're not anymore.
Every night, Donald Trump doesn't go to bed without talking to Sean Hannity.
Okay.
A person in the news media has a direct line to the president.
Yeah, cool.
There's nothing more corrupt than that.
Yeah, there's plenty more corrupt than that. Okay, so
there's nothing more corrupt than a messenger to the people having a direct line to the president and getting to empathize with him.
Yeah, there's a lot more corrupt than that. Like 90% of the news media that we get is negative coverage of Donald Trump and a fucking smear campaign trying to take him down.
Is it 90%?
So go on Pew Research.
Yeah.
I don't have the exact percentage, but it is in the 90s. I do know that within his first year of being president and his term, he's had more negative media coverage than any president in history, right? And I know media coverage differs.
But he also can't open his mouth without saying something really batshit. And all he ever does is open his mouth.
But
he never stops campaigning, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. He says a lot of dumb shit, right? But he also does a lot of good shit. And the media doesn't cover that.
What are some of the good things that he's done?
The First Step Act.
What's that?
It's when he gave prisoners the opportunity that he cut minimum sentences for a lot of prisoners, so they didn't have to serve their full sentences for bullshit crimes.
I understand that he enacted. There were some things on his desk that he signed. He didn't come up with them, but he did sign them. And I do get pissed off when he doesn't get because he does need acknowledgement for anything that he does. Like we haven't had the State of the Union yet this year, but last year he said something about leave, like family leave, like maternity and paternity leave. And anyone who's a liberal kind of made fun of him. They're like, well, pick a side, Donald. I'm like, no, okay, you can't do that because you're part of the problem right now. If he says something good, this is what I don't like about Republican voters. For the first time in history, you have a president that just wants your approval. All he wants is for you to like him. And he will react.
How is he different than any other politician?
Because other politicians...
He doesn't care if you fucking like him. He says whatever he wants. We already went over that.
No,
he talks shit and he says whatever he wants. He doesn't really care about the repercussion. He talks shit and he's stupid on Twitter.
No,
we can admit that.
He wants your praise more than anything. He will do anything you ask him for. Kim Kardashian is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Okay, can you let this person out of prison? Yes, people will like me for that. All he wants is for you to like him. And all they do is suck his dick night and day.
Would you rather have him doing things for the people that the people want him to do, or fucking major campaign donors like banks and pharmaceuticals backing people's campaigns? What would you rather have? Him trying to please the people or trying to please these corporations?
There's nothing to say he's not pleasing those corporations.
He's not getting those big donations like all these other fucking career politicians are.
Is he not? That's
he's
all
running
dark
on
money.
his
We
own
don't know what
money.
kind of donations. No,
Yeah,
he stopped running on his own money halfway through his own campaign.
Listen, he gets free media coverage, right? It's all a tactic.
Yeah.
He says a lot of crazy shit that keeps him on the media, and he gets unlimited media coverage.
And it's influencing
It's very
the world
smart.
around us. There's a comic that I won't name because she doesn't deserve to be alive, really. But
you got to tell me after.
she wants to. I told you her name, but maybe you don't remember, and I don't want to say her name.
Mm-hmm.
But there are people like her that I see, and they see Donald Trump, and they start acting like him because they think, oh, I can act that way too and be rewarded the same way. I can be a disruptive factor. And they say a bunch of shit that doesn't make sense, like, oh, I'm a conservative comedian, but I'm a minority, and that's why you're attacking me. Okay, so are you conservative or are you a fucking snowflake? Are you conservative's fucking snowflake? So
those
like,
do exist.
Pick a lane.
Yes.
Conservative, everyone's a fucking snowflake, and this is what I credit in a bad way the Republican Party with. They drove this train to crazy town, and that's why we have a bunch of fucking woke ass lefties saying stupid, like, that get heard now saying stupid shit.
Oh, those existed before Trump.
Half of it are important progressions in our society, and exactly half of it are just people also wanting to be loud and obnoxious and heard. But I mean, in my opinion, it all started with George W. Bush. That's when this train went straight to crazy town, and it's never come back ever since. That's when Fox took a hard stance to the right and said, we're always going to back this person no matter what they say. And it's really hurt us so much to the point where, excuse me, when people come to my bar, I'll say this about liberals: I never know when one is sitting next to me. But Republicans come to my bar and unprompted just start spouting some Republican shit. Like this woman's talking and she's like, "'Cause I grew up." No one's talking to her. She's alone in the bar. I'm the only other person there, and then there's like a guitar player off in the corner. And then all of a sudden she's like, "Not socialism. I mean," and then she goes on a diatribe, and this happens every day. Or like last night, there's a guy and we're getting along and everything's cool, and then he's like, "Chicago's got the highest murder rate in the country." I'm like, oh God, I know where this is going. This is a verbatim talking point. This is a regurgitation of something that people hear. Every city run by Democrats is, and I'm like, every city is run by Democrats because every city is pluralistic. And so it's really a division ideologically between rural and city, rural and urban. And so you get a pluralistic kind of set of sensibilities when you have to work closely with people. And when you're isolated, I don't know, it's just easier to approach you with a different way of communicating, it seems to me. But it's all very destructive in that, again, how has anything Donald Trump done affect me? They said they were gonna. He said he had a plan. Number one, to improve the Affordable Care Act. Did he have a plan?
I mean, he did announce it for his second term. That's what he's going to tackle. One of the things. He's done a lot in his first 3 years.
He went after the Republican Party and he said, "You had 7 years to come up with another plan." What's he saying there? I didn't have a fucking plan. Mm-hmm. You had 7 years to come up with a plan. I said I had a plan and it was going to be better, but I didn't have a fucking plan. I was just saying shit. And that's what he does every day, is just say shit.
So, you could get on the Affordable Care Act right now.
I was on it for a little bit. I was on it for a little bit. All they have to do to improve the Affordable Care Act is get rid of the mandate.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
That's a no-brainer, right? Is that a no-brainer?
I don't know, because I'm not an economist. So like for you to like say that, like I doubt that it's as simple as like signing that bill. Like, oh, that's a no-brainer. Let's sign that in.
The mandate was meant.
These people know more than you or I, right?
They don't. The mandate, I would disagree. I only know from talking to them. Some of them do, but the people who
you don't talk to like the politicians. You talk to people who support those politicians.
Politicians, half of their day is spent raising money, so they don't get a lot of time to actually do their job. But
true.
The mandate was put in place, was meant to guarantee a profit to keep premiums down, and it didn't. So it failed at that. And so without that, throw out the fucking mandate.
Sure.
But what's the risk in throwing out the mandate? You lose the support of the pharmaceutical industry. You lose the support of the insurance industry. An industry which, by the way, is a scam. I have an alternative, a theoretical alternative. Insurance bank. You put this money away, you don't use it, the money's still there. Instead of I missed a payment, all that money's gone. You put away $10,000, $20,000, $50,000. You missed a payment, it's gone. No, you missed a payment, hey, there's $50,000 accumulating interest in a bank. Rich people still get to play with money the way they do, that we don't, it's like unbeknownst to us. They play with our money while it's in banks, They still get to have that, but it's not this fucking money vacuum where they get to play this game of how do we figure out how not to cover the thing that we're supposed to cover.
Well, how are they going to play with it if you get to keep it? If you get to keep it, then they can't play with it.
Anytime your money's in a bank is being played with.
Right. So
That's why your money's insured, because there's a possibility that they could lose it. That's why your money's insured.
Okay.
You didn't know that?
No, I did, but I feel like we're going a little off topic. I do want to talk a little bit because we started with impeachment
This
a little bit.
is right on topic because I want to take it from politics into things that affect us, and something that affects us largely, and it's a huge argumentative point between the left and the right. Okay, and in between is just us people trying to make fucking sense out of life. You know, is how do we handle this healthcare crisis? Because most people can't afford healthcare. And people like me put off going to the doctor for unknown amounts of time. You're just like,
What's the percentage of most people that can't afford healthcare? Do you know?
everyone I talk to.
That's not a percentage.
That's not a percentage. That's
So how many
anecdotal.
people have healthcare versus who don't? I mean, yeah. I think most people are insured.
I hear about people paying roughly $1,000 or upwards of $1,000 a month for insurance.
Not employed people.
Employed people.
No, it wouldn't be that high.
What are you talking about?
Employed people wouldn't be paying thousands of dollars just for their health insurance.
Why not?